Hello there guys, welcome back to another James White Dragon video. Today, unsurprisingly, the Field Centre gives it away, but what deck are we doing today?
Chaos Max Blue Eyes.
Chaos Max Blue Eyes build. So, Chris, show us what you got.
Right, so, other than the Field Centre in the middle of course, you start with the traditional 3 Blue Eyes, which, if it's a Blue Eyes deck, you tend to run 3 of these lovely babes.
What, 3 Blue Eyes? No, never.
I'd run 5, but they wouldn't let me.
Oh no.
But you always go, these are lovely to have. They basically, the Blue Eyes alternative, they're quite nice for special summoning. They're really good for that. And then, as per the deck name, Chaos Max, really good for basically bashing through, double piercing, really good, not too difficult to get out. You then run the Spirit of White, which is basically good for back row destruction and
Mind destruction.
yeah, pretty much. But it also has the special effect of tributing itself and summoning a Blue Eyes from your hand. So if you've got White Stone of Ancients in the graveyard, special summon this, pop something in their back row, then you get Blue Eyes. Easy trade out. It's also level 8, good for trading. You then have your normal Darkest Mill, because it's a dragon deck, it works. And also you've got Deep Eyes White Dragon, which is really good for if they're attacking Blue Eyes or they're trying to destroy it. The more Blue Eyes in your graveyard, 600 times each different day with a different name.
It's not bad. So
And you can select a monster, dragon monster in your graveyard and it gains the attack.
So effectively it's a Blue Eyes hand trap.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So, oh no, your Blue Eyes alternative ultimate's in the graveyard. Bounce that, summon that to the field, 4,000 attack monster, and they deal whatever damage. The highest I've actually ever got it is 7,600 attack, 7,400 damage from with one drop.
That is pretty impressive.
Pretty late in game, but it's good as a last resort. Run 1 stone just because of the new ancients. Ancients are a lot more better, but if you need the Blue Eyes to the hand quickly, it's good and it's
Do you
not
not
really
feel
wasted.
that the 3 bricks or...
No, because you in the extract you'll see I've got a Link Karibo which lets me recycle quite quickly with it.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And also you've got the bounce back ability of the White Stone to get Blue Eyes back to your hand,
Okay, that's
which actually works for alternative, the Blue Eyes alternative, the Chaos Max and the Spirit of White. They all can be bounced back because of him.
That's pretty cool.
And he can basically, when he goes to the graveyard, you can search for any of those, and if you basically haven't got Spirit of White out, and they've got back row, bring it out, and then the cycle works.
Pretty awesome.
Not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
Right, so a bit of support for the alternative ultimate. Not alternative ultimate, that's later on. Chaos Max, the other one.
Told them something.
Yes, I know. So, you gotta love the Manju. Easy search power. Guarantees you get something for it. If you've got 1 piece and you've got that in your hand, you can pretty much first turn Chaos Max first turn normally.
That's pretty good.
Run 2 Bingo Machine Goes because, yeah, why not? They're nice, you search for it.
They're monies.
Yeah, they're monies, and if you need something from your deck, which you haven't got at the time, they work really quickly. You can select the same 3 cards and go, yes, pick one of these random cards. Nope. You've got the Ritual Power, so you've got Chaos Form, which does what it says on the tin, and you've got the Advanced Ritual Art, which works as search power from your deck, and it just drops it straight to your graveyard. It means you don't actually have to have Blue Eyes in your hand. I'm only running 2 because sometimes it can brick. You don't want to have too many because you're not guaranteed to have all your Blue Eyes in your deck. And with all the search power for Blue Eyes, you might as well run 3 Chaos Form and 2 of these as a backup plan. Good for first turn. Later on in the game, they're pretty useless, but they work. Lovely Dragon Shrine, 1 for 1. Good to basically search and drop. So send something from your hand, gets a level 1 to your side of the field, and then dropping to Blue Eyes basically just keeps your deck running.
Okay.
Keeps the cycle going. Then you've got your draw power, which you've got your trade-ins, your melodies, and your cards of consonants. Basically just keeps that, tries to keep out the dead hands as much as possible. I run 3 of these because you've got so many level 8s. Level 1s we don't have that many and they're useful, so it works if you're basically first turn. And then those basically get you your alternative and Blue Eyes straight out first turn, or even search for any of the other bits and pieces you need. Only really works for the alternative and Blue Eyes though, really. Then we get to This should be, as per normal, Foolish Burial should be with the 1-for-1, but I know I didn't put something in the right place.
No, seriously, be jumping.
Then you got your Revival, you got Monster Reborn, and your Return of the Dragon Lords. Good for basically protection of the field.
And also, it's the special. It's like a monster ball as well.
Yeah, so you got three revivals, and then if these are in the graveyard, banish them, and you can protect all your dragons on the field. It's nice defense. So if they're going to like try and blow up your field, you can just go, okay, you've blown up your own field and you've not touched mine. And then Dragon's Mirror, because that'd be fun for one of the cards in my extra deck.
Okay, well, let's see that extra deck, shall we?
Right, the extra deck. Link Karibo, as I said, very useful. Good for the stones, gets basically the midfield moving. If anything, a Link Zone and a defense for one turn if you really need it. Triple Burst and the Guard Dragon core, which I have got some of the extra deck stuff for it, but with the build I had, basically half it got banned, so it's been weakened, but I feel this actually does work in the...
Would you consider putting maybe a the pendulum card? You know,
we'll remember it later.
We'll remember it later. Wait,
Hold on.
just get
Looking through the other deck?
Yeah. Speaking Dragon Darkbone, would you think about running that?
I would probably have it in an extra deck, see how it runs, but at the moment I find that this works as it is, as a pure beatdown. I rarely go into the Guard Dragon bit, but it's a nice option.
Yeah.
Because going into the Argopane, it gets me something from my extra deck. You've got the Sayuja and the Apulsa, because money card.
Negates are fun.
Negates and specials and draw power. Pulsar is definitely a money card there, and thank you to James for recommending me to put it in my deck anyway.
Very good, isn't it? Yeah. Too bad it's not the parallel rare, but still.
You've got Beauregard, which I would prefer a sword or a load, but this does what it does on the tin. But hey, you got to use what you got to use.
The content. I'll just pretend that that's that.
Yay! My deck's complete. Alright, so the Dragmalons. You have got a choice between one or two of these, but because my deck's heavy on the links and fusions, I only run one. But you've got the 107 and 38s, which is pretty good for your negation and special and extra power. And then you've got the overlay for the full armor, for destruction power. Very useful if you want to go. If you got having issues with negation, go that way. If you want to go for destruction, go that way. And if anything, that can summon from the graveyard as well.
That's pretty good too.
Which is not too bad. Last but not least, the fusions. Twin, lovely. It's beautiful for when you're trying to get past something and you can't get over it. Attack into it, take the damage, banish it. Beautiful, double attack. And doesn't require polymerization. I don't normally go into Neo, but before I got this lovely card, which I will be getting the English version out of the tin, hopefully, this was actually pretty useful. We got this 4/5 beat stick, and its effect's not too bad. And if anything, I can use the Guard Dragon core of Argopane and go straight into it without any issues. And then Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate, the new one coming out.
This is a premiere of the card.
I've got the English translation, and before the comment section asked, no, I did not stick the the English translation on there. It's just a bit of card. I have been asked several times, have I been an idiot? No, I haven't.
Usually by me.
Yes.
Shall we see the side deck then?
Side deck, nothing too major, just a few extra bits which help it out. Basically, the remnants of the Guard Dragon core, which I had, but it's just basically you've got the extra legacy. If you're basically having issues with zones, I can change that out and it allows me to just move stuff around, and it can let me bring back any of the stones. An extra stone if I need it. I haven't found that it's useful, but it's nice to have in there just to be on the safe side. Just a standard chaos. Does work nicely. Literally turns the monster to defense position and negates its attack, so you get to do piercing of 3,000, just not double. Not as good as the alternative, but if you have that and the others on the field, use his effect, go in Chaos Max attack, double piercing on 0, that's a instant kill.
Instant kill.
Garmedy's lovely. Envoy at the end doesn't really need explaining, and then you've got Cypher Blade, which, because my deck's at 15, I had it on the extra, but just this on the side. And you got Prometheus, which is nice for its effect.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for showing us your deck list, Chris. And,
No problem.
if you would like to see more deck lists, or you have any comments for us, please let us know down below, and please like, subscribe. Please subscribe. We have 29 subscribers, and maybe we can get to 30. That's our goal. 30 subscribers by the end of the week.
And you got a video with 1,000
We
views
have
now.
a video with 1,000 views. So
1,000
if-
people
if-
there not subscribed.
Yeah, 1,000 people that could be subscribed. So please do. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you in the next video. See you later, guys. Bye.